Hello guys, this is the part 2 of our discussion on corporate income taxation. So previously, biniscuss po natin yung iba't ibang uri ng corporations that is subject to taxation like the domestic corporation, resident foreign corporation, and non-resident foreign corporations. Ngayon po naman, didiscuss natin yung mga types ng mga taxes sa mga korporasyon. So meron po tayong maraming klase like yung normal corporate income tax or the NCIT. Usually 30% po ito ng net income. Meron rin po tayong minimum corporate income tax or MCIT. It's 2% ng iyong gross ng corporation's gross income. Meron din po tayong improperly accumulated earnings tax. 10% po ito ng based on improperly accumulated earnings. And we also have mga capital gains tax, the CGT, branch profit remittance tax, gross income tax, and final tax on other gross income. So, but for these purposes, magpo-focus lang po tayo dun sa first three, the NCIT, MCIT, and IAET. Okay po. So, ayan. Sorry po, no? So, nagkaroon po yata tayo ng technical challenge dito sa internet. Pero, ayan po. Ang facts po natin is ACS Corporation started operation sa noong January 2001 pero naka-register na ito sa BIR June 10, 2000 pa lang. So kailan daw po magiging subject si ACS ng MCIT? Is it A, 2003, B, 2004, C, 2005, or D, 2006? So kung tandaan nyo sa previous slide, di ba? Sabi, masasubject kang isang corporation beginning the fourth taxable year beginning when it commence its business operation kung kailan po siya na-register sa BIR. So in that case, from 2000, bilang po kayo ng fourth taxable year, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the correct answer is letter B, 2004 and not 2005. Okay po? So, kailan po nagiging applicable ang MCIT? Automatic ba on the fourth year? Subject ka na sa MCIT? Hindi po. Ang MCIT po magiging applicable siya kapag yung taxable income mo ay zero or negative or kapag yung minimum corporate income tax na 2% ng gross ng income mo is greater than the normal corporate income tax due. So yan po yung sinasabi ko kanina na kapag ang MCIT mas mataas sa normal corporate income tax na nababayaran mo, then applicable yung MCIT. Or kapag nag-zero ka or negative. So bakit? Bakit nag-i-impose ng MCIT sa mga sa corporation, domestic, tsaka resident foreign corporation? The imposition of minimum corporate income tax is designed to forestall the prevailing practice of corporation of overclaiming deduction in order to reduce their income tax payments. So the filing of income tax returns showing a tax loss every year goes against the business motive which impelled the stockholders to form the corporation. So this is the reason why domestic corporation and resident foreign corporations, after the recovery period of 4 years from the time they commence business operation, they become liable to the MCIT whenever this tax imposed at 2% of gross income exceeds the normal corporate income tax imposed on net income. So, totoo nga naman po, di ba? So, tulad ng sinabi ko kanina, minsan kasi sobrang daming allowable deductions na pwedeng i-deduct ng isang corporation, lagi na lang sila nag-zero. So, sabi ng batas, sabi ng mambabatas natin, so parang, di ba, nahihirapan tayong makakolekta from the corporations dahil lagi sila nade-declare. So, in order to forestall that practice, na mag-overclaim kayo ng deductions nyo, so mag-impose tayo ng MCIT on your fourth year of business operations. So, pwede na presume natin na on your fourth year, after mo mag-commence ng operation, kumikita ka na and hindi mo na pwedeng sabihin na zero ka pa rin lagi, di ba? So with that, 2% ng gross income mo ang itatax ng ng rate ng minimum corporate income tax. Okay? So nakakasunod po. So can the payment of MCIT be suspended? The correct answer is yes. Ba? So the Secretary of Finance, upon recommendation of the BI or Commissioner, may suspend the imposition of the MCIT on a corporation due to the following reasons. So merong sustained losses from prolonged labor dispute. Ba? Minsan hindi magkaintindihan yung labor group ng mga empleyado ng isang kumpanya at yung mga may-ari, di ba, ng kumpanya, at nagkaroon ng strike, nag-stage ng strike for 6 months. Diba? Hindi pa rin sila nagkakaayos at it greatly affects the corporation, its operations, its income, and that the Secretary of Finance may suspend the imposition of the MCIT on the corporation. Also, force majeure or the acts of God, we have lightning, floods, earthquakes, and finally, we also have legitimate business reverses na mga nangyayari, mga unexpecteds, di ba? So, mapapakita mo naman talaga na the corporation is suffering from that, then the Secretary of Finance may do so. Now, here's a sample computation. No? So for MCIT, ang liable for this is the domestic corporation or the domestic corporation and resident foreign corporation. Ang rate niya is 2% based on the gross income except from income tax and income subject to final withholding tax. So let's define first what is a cost of goods sold. Yung kanina, 'di ba, sa sinite ko sa inyo yung example sa pag-compute ng normal corporate income tax. Yung cost of goods sold po ay it includes all business expenses directly incurred to produce the merchandise and bring them to their present location, such as direct labor, direct materials, and overhead expenses. Ito po yung mga presyo, diba? Yung cost ng mga goods na naibenta na kailangan po, di ba? Para po sa yung mga na-incur na mga expenses para po sa mga pagta-transport, di ba? Para po sa mga pag-labor, di ba? Na mga materials saka expenses na na-incur ng isang korporasyon sa benta. Okay? So the formula here is yung gross sales po, magkano po yung lahat ng kita, at yung mga balik, mga sales returns, mga sales allowance, saka mga sales discounts, diba, na ibalik, i-less po natin yun from there, makukuha po natin yung net sales, at i-deduct po natin yung cost of goods sold. So magkano yung mga ginastos po, yung mga expenses. Based on that, may-ari po natin yung gross income from sales. And with that, i-add po natin yung mga incidental income, other income, tsaka po tayo mag-arrive sa gross income. And i-multiply po natin yun. Ngayon po yung tax base niya is gross income. Multiply natin yon sa 2% na MCIT at mag-a-arrive po tayo sa amount ng MCIT payable. Now, meron din po tayong computation sa sale of services. So yung cost of services naman po dito, ito naman yung lahat na expenses incurred to provide yung necessary services required by customers and clients, including salaries, employees, benefits of personnel directly and rendering their service. So alos ganun din po yung formula. Yung gross receipts, less mo po yung mga sales returns, allowances and discounts para makuha yung net sales at ibawas na po yung cost of services. Para mag-arrive po tayo sa gross income from sales and i-add po natin yung incidental income to arrive at the gross income and multiply it by 2% MCIT to arrive at the taxable or tax due of the MCIT. Now, we have several limitations po in imposing MCIT because MCIT does not apply if the domestic corporation or the resident foreign corporation is not subject to the normal corporate income tax. Yes, there are corporations po na hindi po subject sa normal corporation income tax because of their special treatment po, taxable treatment. Ito po yun, yung nasa kanan. No? Entities exempt from normal corporate income tax and minimum corporate income tax. We have domestic propriety educational institutions, domestic non-profit hospital, domestic depository banks under the expanded foreign currency deposit system, have resident foreign international carrier, resident foreign offshore banking units, resident foreign regional operating headquarters, and firms enjoying special income tax rate under the TESA law. So in this case, itong mga enumerations na binanggit po, hindi po sila subject sa normal corporate income tax na 30%. Here, meron po silang sarili ng tax rates na ina-apply. Thus, yung minimum corporate income tax po na 2% will not apply to them. Now, for domestic corporations naman, whose operations are partly covered by the normal corporate income tax and partly covered under special income tax system, the MCIT or the minimum corporate income tax shall apply on operations covered by the normal corporate income tax. Now, bakit po? Kasi it serves, yung minimum corporate income tax po kasi is, it serves as a substitute for normal corporate income tax. Okay, so it is as if hindi po siya tax additional in addition sa normal corporate income tax, but it serves to substitute yung NCIT po natin. Now, for resident foreign corporations, subject din po sila sa MCIT, but only the gross income from sources within the Philippines shall be considered for determining the applicability of the minimum corporate income tax. Now, we have a question here. Is a corporation which is exempted from the minimum corporate income tax automatically exempted from regular corporate income tax? And explain your answer. So kapag exempt ka ba from payment of MCIT, mini-exempted ka na rin sa regular corporate income tax? So ang sagot po dyan na hindi. So the minimum corporate income tax is just a proxy for the normal corporate income tax, not the regular corporate income tax paid by a corporation. So for instance, a propriety educational institution, yung nalabanggit natin kanina, may be subjected to a regular corporate income tax of 0% depending on its dominant income. But it is exempt from the imposition of MCIT because the latter is not intended to substitute special tax rates. So is with PESA, enterprises, CDA enterprises. So yung nabanggit po kanina, although meron po exempted sila sa payment ng regular na yung normal corporate income tax, that does that necessarily mean na exempted na rin po sila sa payment ng mga tax na yan. Okay? Na nabanggit yan. Kasi meron po silang special tax rate. Okay. So kailan naman po nire-report at binabayaran yung MCIT? So ang MCIT po, binabayaran po siya, nire-report dapat sa BIR on a quarterly and a yearly basis. Same katulad po ng pagbabayad sa normal corporate income tax. So the final comparison between the NCIT payable by the corporation and the MCIT shall be made at the end of the taxable year. So quarterly, January, February, March, so 4 na beses po sa isang year na magbabayad. So that's at the end of the taxable year, nagkakaroon po ng summarize po, di ba? Magkakaroon ng comparison between yung mga binabayad mo na NCIT and MCIT, di ba? At the end of the taxable year para po ma-balance, ma-double check kung tama po ba yung mga binayad mo. Ayun, may mga instances naman po na yung MCIT na sa pagko-collate ng mga binayad niyo po in one taxable year, may nagkakaroon ng excess ng MCIT. Paano po ba yun? At naka-carry forward yun sa over the NCIT. So any excess ng MCIT over the NCIT may be carried forward on an annual basis and be credited against the NCIT for the 3 succeeding taxable years. So para po itong yung gaya ng naaral natin, di ba? Ang nakaraang topic. So, paano po yung application nito? Ipapakita ko po sa inyo. So, ito po ang example number 1, no? So, noong taxable year 2004, let's say, yung corporation, nag-commence ng operation po siya, registered with the BIR in the taxable year 2000, no? And now, in the year taxable year 2004, 2005, 2006, and 2007, and 2008, ayan po yung reflection ng kanilang normal income tax or the and minimum corporate income tax. Yan po yung computation. So ngayon, for taxable year 2004, ang normal income tax po ni corporation ay 20,000. Whereas kapag yung MCIT naman po niya, meaning yung 2% ng kanyang gross income is 80,000 pesos. Ibig sabihin mas mataas yung minimum corporate income tax niya. So yun po yung magiging amount na babayaran po sa BIR, 80,000 pesos MCIT. In the year taxable year 2005, 30 po yung normal income tax, MCIT is 50. Siyempre, mas mataas po yung minimum corporate income tax na 2%. So, yun po yung babayaran niyo, yung 50,000. Yung taxable year 2006 naman po, mas mataas naman po dito yung normal income tax. Siyempre, yun po yung babayaran dapat. Sa 2007 naman po, mas mataas na naman po yung minimum corporate income tax ng korporasyon, siyempre yung MCIT. Ganun sa 2008 naman po, mas mataas yung normal income tax, 70,000 po. Ngayon, yun din po yung yun po yung dapat na amount na babayaran. Ngayon, kukompute po natin, paano po ba yung pagki-carry forward ng minimum corporate income tax? Kasi po, di ba, tulad po dito sa taxable year 2004, ang based on your computation, ang normal income tax mo is 20,000 lang. Pero yung 2% ng gross income ng corporation is 80,000. Pero sabi ng batas, ang MCIT ang babayaran mo. So meron ka po ritong 80,000, taxable year 2004, meron kang 80,000, ibabawas niyo po yun sa normal income tax na 20,000. So meron po kayong excess na 60,000 pesos. Ngayon, pwede mo siyang, sabi ng batas, pwede mo siyang i-carry forward sa 3 succeeding years ng yung kapag mas mataas na yung normal corporate income tax mo. So in that case, 2005, 2007, ang taxable year 2006 lang po siya ma-apply dahil ayun po yung normal corporate income tax. So but since 40,000 lang po yung normal corporate income tax, yun lang po yung amount. Hindi po siya pwedeng sumobra sa hindi mo siya pwedeng i-carry over na lahat-lahat kasi magsusobra ka na. So 40,000 lang po yung pwede mo i-apply para yung taxable year 2006, zero po yung net amount of tax payable. So gayon din po sa taxable year 2008. So meron po kayong normal corporate income tax na mas mataas. So 70,000 po yung babayaran supposedly. Pero meron kang sobra uli nung taxable year 2005. Okay? Meron kang sobra na 20,000 pesos dahil dineduct mo po yung binayaran niyo pong 50,000 less yung 30,000 na dapat yung babayaran na normal income tax. Pwede niyo po yun i-carry over dun sa amount due na payable niyo po sa taxable year 2008. So ganun din po. Kaya lang since 20,000 yan, meron ka ng 50,000. So meron ka uli nitong 2007, mas mataas na naman yung MCIT mo over your normal income tax by 20,000. So pwede mo rin siyang i-add. So nandito na siya sa kanan. So 40,000 and all in all, pwede mong i-deduct from your taxable due, from the tax due to your company. So 70,000 less 20 is equals to 30,000. So 30,000 na po yung tax due nyo over for the taxable year 2008. Now we have another problem po here, no? Example number 2. So sa corporation, meron po siya in the taxable year 2000, 2001, 2002, yan po yung kanyang data. So for taxable year 2000, assuming ito na po yung 4th year niya, no? Or more than 4th year po ng kanyang operation. ang kanya pong nag-reflect na minimum corporate income tax is 75,000 whereas yung normal income tax niya is 50,000 lang po. Siyempre, ang magiging ipipiliin po dyan is yung minimum corporate income tax na 75,000. So gayon din po sa taxable year 2001, 100,000 po na minimum corporate income tax. But for year 2002, mas mataas po yung normal income tax. So yun po yung i-apply natin. At pwede po natin doon i-carry forward itong pong sobra po natin ng taxable year 2000 at 2001. So from 75 less 50,000, meron po kayong sobra noong 2000 ng 25,000. And in year 2001, meron po kayong sobra na 40,000 pesos. So all in all, 65,000 pesos po lahat yan na pwede mong i-deduct for your taxable year 2002. Now, mag-a-arrive po kayo sa 35,000 pesos. Okay po. So I hope you understand no, sa minimum corporate income tax. Okay. So let's proceed naman po later sa next video yung about sa IAET. Hold on po